what do you do after tonight? So, what hasn't changed? The basic scheme that they present of the Gary, what they call the Gary Master Plan, is still the same. Now, I made printed copies of this slide presentation. They're available over there. But I want to point out one thing, very mysterious and perhaps troubling. This slide, when I went to print it out on my printer didn't print the picture. So what hasn't changed came out to be blank. And there's some other slides there that have Gary's master plan, and they're also blank. So, excuse my printer, but it may be telling us something. But this is the Gary master plan, the 22 acres. It has not changed. 22 acres up to 6,430 residential units, 3,670 parking spaces, and up to 592,000 gross square feet of office and retail and hotel space. The land grab is the same. The blight study did not change. This was the study they did originally to say that the area is blighted, and that it was the justification for using the state's power of eminent domain to take private property for the Forest City Radnor project. Although, we should note that now, Radnor claims to own 80% of the 22 acres. Own or control, that is, it's also under the control of the MTA. So if he owns and controls 80% of it, what does he need eminent domain for? Of course, he's already blighted a large portion of the neighborhood, as we see vacant lots all over the place. What hasn't changed is the inadequate environmental review. There is no change to the final environmental impact statement. And there are the same old problems in the project. There's no disclosure of public costs. They talk about forever about all of the public benefits, and they quantify public benefits, but they never say what the public costs are beyond minimal subsidy that they're getting for infrastructure. They don't talk about the tax benefits that they're getting over the term of the project. They continue to evade the local land use review process. They do not involve communities. The public hearings to talk about the revised project plan were a joke. They were not to receive public input. They were simply to comply with the letter of the law. The affordable housing is still unaffordable. The jobs are mostly temporary jobs. The open space, it still continues to be not truly publicly accessible. The 8 acres of open space. The massive traffic problems that were disclosed in the original project plan will continue to occur. No major changes to the traffic plan. And the 3,670 parking spaces will continue and will continue to make things worse. And they had originally published design guidelines that were very general, that they said they would follow. They continue to say they will follow those design guidelines. So now, what's new? What's new in the revised project plan? The phasing. They change. They simply move up the dates by 3 years. Phase 1 is now the arena and 3 buildings. And it would be completed by 2012 with a possible postponement I'll talk about in a minute. Phase 2 is all the rest, a total of 17 buildings on a total of 22 acres, would be completed by 2019. So the dates have changed by 3 years. However, and this is stated in the revised plan, delays are possible. Only the arena is guaranteed in phase 1, in absolute terms, in the revised project. It is possible that all you'll wind up with is an arena, if that. Building 2 could take 5 years. In other words, could go to 2015 instead of 2012. And who's to say that that couldn't be also postponed? But there is no date. They don't commit to a date for the 3rd building in phase 1. So their only firm commitment is Oregon and the 1st building, the 2nd building. But they say that in the case they don't meet their deadlines, they will provide temporary public open space and more temporary parking, which I will talk about in a minute. Their interim open space, they give you an example of it. What it is the plaza in front of the arena. Interim open space. It's space that would have been provided in any case, and they do nothing extra for it. They leave open the possibility that the other vacant land in the 1st phase will be used as parking lots. It could be used as interim open space, you know, kiosks and a sitting area, or it could be used as parking lots. So they've let themselves a lot of leeway, and that's one reason this is not a plan. It's some suggestions of what might happen. They have eternal development rights that take them into the stratosphere, into the afterlife. There are no limits to delays. Interim uses, like parking lots, can be forever. There's no restriction on the length of time they're calling interim. And their original parking plan has actually expanded. This, in the 2006 plan, was the temporary parking plan, which was to involve this whole block and a portion of that arena block. But now they're talking about putting more cars, 100 more cars on this lot, and using this block over here for temporary parking. Expanding the area used for temporary parking, and it would undoubtedly be paved. You may remember that the Hoyt-Schermerhorn urban renewal area just down the street was parking lots for 40 years.